guys, short little Saturday at the Springs today because I didn't really get a lot changed out here because we were so kind of hot and heavy in our new Outpost 87 steampunk land that it just kind of tinkered with that during the week and did not get a lot messed with, but I can just take you over some kind of what we're going to do. We did get the condos moved over to the resort side of the highway just to give a little more room to the show building for Legend of Thunder Falls, and I moved this ridge over a little bit to let the sci-fi land breathe a little more because remember Yan's boat ride is actually probably going to be shifting up into the land. So wanted to kind of push this over as much as I could and kind of just make a little more room in the land back there for the boat ride and the eventual coaster that's going to come and like the little outpost town area. Nothing really's changed over here. You guys remember last weekend, we've got Crockett's Breakfast Camp up and going. So that is one of your little eateries right over here, kind of as you're making your way to Outpost 87 and Timberwolf's Revenge. All of this area definitely, I think, would be a hopping spot for dining, kind of like at that junction of three really major attractions and lands right there. Under the suggestion of one of you guys, I added the crows, kind of like the little hawks, to the Phantom Manor, so they're kind of menacingly flying around above the manor. Thought that looked really cool. Gave the manor just a little bit more of an eerie touch. And out here on Main Street, I have not really messed with much. We brought in Plastic Swan's little Looney Balloons facade. I think that looks really good. Just so happens attached to her Whole Food Harvest restaurant. So yeah, we got the Looney Balloons in there. Changed out a couple trees. This little European, I think it's a European ash tree maybe, shrunk it down a little bit. It was a little too large, we felt, for that planter, but now I think it's good. It doesn't block the theater. Still gives a little bit of shade. Still adds a little bit of character to that large plaza area. What else did we mess with over here? Nothing really in the Springs area. Of course, we're going to be changing out these rocks very soon. Hopefully, if we get our hands on that on update 5 a little early. Hopefully they shoot that my way and we can kind of change out some of these very bright colored white rocks. I teased this a little bit during the week. Enchanted Forest has a carousel now, and it sits right over here by the teacup ride. And remember, if you haven't caught this in a couple weeks, the teacup ride has its own little shaded queue area now, and a lot of people queuing up to ride this pretty popular ride. And then, of course, we've got our carousel over here now. Very cool. Picked that up off the workshop. I think that was Planet Coaster MB, I believe, put that on there. So very cool. The Enchanted Forest is really fleshed out now, almost complete, bearing some little bit more detail work and stuff. But yeah, Enchanted Forest came out very cool. And I think that is about it as far as a checkup goes, guys. I extended Grizzly Peak Expedition a little bit, kind of worked its track a little more, made it not end just so abruptly. So we actually brought it back into the mountain a little, and then it kind of weaves and bobs its way to that last little break run. Really still need to get over here and work on the kind of like the proper little queue area over here and finish out the town, courtesy of Jure. And I might even get some of those new colored rocks. I may even get them over here on Grizzly Peak and just kind of see what they look like. Maybe pop them in here and there. Maybe try to make it look a little like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train-ish, instead of it all being dark black and green rocks. Might experiment with that a little bit. Got the new Grizzly Peak Expedition sign out here now. Little custom sign we did. Your Bear Paw Cafe, everything's still running good with it. It is still as popular as ever. We've got Yan's Barnstormer flying along in the background. Always love seeing that. Sometimes I'll just sit here and I won't move and I'll just watch the people kind of go back and forth and use the restaurant and the coaster going along in the back. Oh, I will tell you one thing I did on our little Main Street area. With Beyond Drew's suggestion, I've got some little signage in here now. So, of course, if you peel off to the right, you've got the Enchanted Forest and Barnstormer that way. And then, obviously, if you go back to the left, that will take you into the Grizzly Valley area over here across the springs. Very, very high traffic area. It's really, I just love seeing them kind of walk underneath the train station. I think this just ended up being a very cool little transitional build right there that kind of takes them into this major area of the park. A lot goes down over here in Grizzly Valley, and there's also a little back entrance to Enchanted Forest from over here. And I'm just trying to think. I don't want to skim over anything, but I just did not get a lot done this week. I definitely didn't mess over here in the water park any, but we are about to. We're going to get these rocks changed out. These horrible white, just bright rocks. We're going to get those a nice little golden brown for you here soon. Still got to work on I got to work on your chairlift and get it open sooner rather than later. Now that, we've got the buses running and the monorail running, we need to get that chairlift going. But all of that will definitely come. And yeah, guys, that is your Saturday at the Springs. So now, by the time you're watching this, you can go in and update it to this version and fly around yourself and have yourself a literal Saturday at the Springs. Don't forget, if you take any pictures in the park or anything like that, tag me on X or Instagram or on YouTube, wherever. If you jump in and take some pictures of the park, tag me at SDanWolf. I would love to see kind of some of the angles that you guys get and, some of the shots you all get and the lighting and the time of day. I think that would be really, really cool. Here comes the monorail, bringing people over from the resort. Got it on shuttle mode. And yeah, I will just kind of continue to work on this weekend. And we'll see how it goes. We'll kind of keep chipping away at our Steampunk Land. And my buddy Drew brought us this awesome steampunk skin, people mover skin. Very, very awesome. Ah. So yeah, big moves, big things are happening in Wilderness Springs. It's kind of weird. We're essentially getting a little closer to the end, but there is so much left to do and little corners to tie up and things to try and lands to finish and rides to finish. So definitely got to get Thunder Falls finished for you. So there's a lot left, but there's not a lot left. I know you guys are probably ready to move on to some new parks and new ideas. And we will definitely, I would just say, don't rush it. Let's enjoy Wilderness Springs while we have it. And we will get into some new weirdness soon. I'm about sure of it. But for right now, I'm just kind of taking my time and, soaking in probably what's going to be the last couple weeks, last month or two of our Wilderness Springs 2.0, and we will drop it and kind of move on to something else. But like I said, never fret. Wilderness Springs, I think, is always going to be something that we come back and tinker with. It'll never be finished as long as you guys have new ideas and we have imagination. This place is going to be just like Disneyland. As long as we have the imagination, it will never quite be finished. So keep that in mind. If you're bummed out that this is going to be coming to an end soon, but just know, we gave this park 110%. But sometimes we gotta call it good. We gotta call it good enough. and we got to move on to some new stuff. So I'm sure, like we said, that will be coming sooner rather than later. So I'm just kind of enjoying this with you guys and soaking in the last few projects we have to go in the park. So anyways, I'm SDN Wolf. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. Let me know what you think. Go subscribe to this on the workshop, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.